Today we're diving into the psychology of connection. We're going to look at those invisible scripts running in our minds that can either build amazing bridges or, massive walls with the people we care about. And by the end of this, you'll have a real practical toolkit to improve pretty much any relationship in your life. All right, let's get into it.
You know that feeling, right? You're trying so hard to explain your point, they're trying to explain theirs, and it feels like you're just completely talking past each other. It's so frustrating, and honestly, we've all been there. But what if I told you there are a few psychological keys that can act like your own personal translator in those exact moments?
So, where do we even begin? Well, the first, and maybe the most surprising step in connecting with other people, it doesn't actually involve them at all. It starts right here, with us. It starts by understanding the unique mental map that each of us uses to navigate the world.
We had this idea that some people are just born people persons, right? That you've either got it or you don't. But that is a total myth. The truth is, connection is a skill. And the very first lesson is learning to look in the mirror and really get a handle on the unconscious habits of your own mind.
So when we look in that mirror, what are we even looking for? Well, we're looking for the invisible programming that shapes our reactions. And a huge piece of that puzzle is something called a cognitive bias. Now, it sounds really academic and complex, but it's actually simple. Your brain takes these little mental shortcuts to process everything happening around you. Think of these biases like filters on a camera. Sure, they help you focus, but they also kind of distort the final picture.
And trust me, these biases are playing out in our relationships every single day. Look at confirmation bias on the left. If you believe your friend is always late, you'll only notice the times they're late and completely forget the times they were on time. Now, check out the fundamental attribution error. When someone else makes a mess, it's because they're messy. When we make a mess, it's because we were in a rush. We blame their character, but we explain away our own situation. Just seeing these shortcuts is the first step to rewiring them.
Okay, so once we've started to get a handle on our own internal map and all its little glitches and biases, the next step is to learn how to read someone else's. And this takes a very specific and very powerful skill.
This really requires a huge shift in how we think about conversations. Most of us go into a discussion armed and ready, just waiting for a pause so we can make our point. The goal here is to change the objective completely. It's not about winning the argument, it's about understanding their world. It's about trying to see things, just for a second, through their eyes.
So how do we actually do that? With this awesome technique called active listening. It's a really simple 3-step process. First, just listen. Really listen, without planning your brilliant comeback. Step 2, and this is the absolute game changer, paraphrase what you just heard. Say something like, okay, so what I'm hearing is you felt hurt when I made that joke. This does 2 things. It confirms you understood and it makes them feel incredibly heard. And finally, step 3, ask questions to go deeper. This shows you don't just hear the words, you actually care about the meaning behind them.
All right, so we've looked at our own map and we've learned the basics of reading theirs. Now for the most important part. How do we actually connect the two? This is where we learn how to build a bridge.
This quote just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? So often, our conversations are really just competing monologues. We're not listening to understand, we're just reloading, waiting for our turn to reply. Building a real bridge means making a conscious choice to shift from that winning mindset to a connecting one.
And here's the practical, word-for-word blueprint. On the right, you've got wall-building words. You never listen to me is an attack. It's a wall. It just forces the other person to get defensive. But now, look at the left side, at the bridge-building words. I feel unheard when we talk about this isn't an accusation, it's an explanation of your own experience, and it's an invitation to solve a problem together. See the difference? It's about expressing a need instead of just assigning blame.
So, we've definitely covered a lot of ground here, from our own secret biases to the specific words we choose. Let's wrap this all up into a simple toolkit that you can start using, today.
Okay, here it is, your new relationship toolkit for simple but super powerful tools. Number 1, spot your biases. Just pause and question your own first assumptions. Number 2, listen actively. Remember, listen to understand, not just to fire back a response. 3, build bridges. Swap those accusatory you statements for honest I statements. And finally, number 4, shift perspective. Always remember that their actions make perfect sense from their map. Your goal isn't to agree with it, but just to try and understand it.
So I'll leave you with this question. Think about it. With these tools in your pocket, what's one tough conversation, one little nagging misunderstanding, or one important connection that you can approach in a totally new way. Because at the end of the day, better relationships don't just happen by magic. They're built one single conversation at a time.